one random book etiquette question I had for you. How what like how do I ask this? How do you read? Hello everyone, welcome back to Read Option presented by Good Time Media. I am Wyatt. That is Jenna. Today we'll speed run through NFL stuff. We'll have to do like a little 2-minute drill, but mostly we're going to talk about The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. Fun book. I'm having fun with it. One sentence review so far. We're 11 chapters in. What do you got?
One sentence review.
One sentence. You're already talking too much. One sentence. Go.
I
All right, sweet, Jenna.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
Just
My brain doesn't like
one word to describe your experience with this book so far. We're 60 pages in. We're going to talk about the book in length shortly.
Thrilling.
Okay. All right. Anyways, shout out to Josh Berman, our friend who joined us last week, talk about the NFL playoffs. We'll do about 2 minutes of NFL talk. Just there's not too much to talk about. The big thing, my season's over.
Both of our teams are out.
Yeah, mine lasted a week longer. I've gone back and forth on where I'm at with this. Mostly I would say I'm broken. It's just we're in this spot, and my top 5 this week is gonna be 5 things we need to do this off season. It'll be real quick because I know no one actually cares about that, but I need to get it out there. The thing with the Vikings is we're in this weird spot where if we win and overachieve, we're immediately frauds. But we're never bad enough to be like a lovable loser. So everyone just hates us. We're just like we're just like this laughing stock of we're not if we win 14 we win like 13 games a year. But we never win big ones. But we're never losing enough to be like, oh, lovable loser, like that type of vibe. And it's just we're stuck. And I don't know what to do with it. I feel this is like it's so frustrating because this was a year where we had no expectations. We were supposed to be bad, and I somehow leave this year feeling worse. When it should be just a year of like, we'll see what happens, and whatever happens, we move on. JJ McCarthy 2025, which we're still gonna do. And I don't know. I know it's very fresh. It's less than 24 hours out, but I'm just very broken at this point.
I understand that.
Do you? Do you really?
I feel for you. That's really disappointing when they had such a great season that you didn't expect them to have, and then
everyone's just like shitting on us for losing. It's like, yeah, you predicted us to lose. Beginning of the year, you predicted us to be bottom feeders.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of crazy to have that great of a record throughout the regular season and then like immediately.
It's just and a lot of people are mad at our coach KOC right now, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest. I think he is just a victim of overachieving. He's taken 2 very, very mediocre teams and gotten them 13 and 14 wins respectively, and they show who they actually are on paper in the playoffs. I don't think that's on KOC. I still think he's coach of the year. I still think he's one of the best coaches in the league. I'm very fine with him leading us into 2025. Our O-line, that's okay. So real quick, I'll run through the 5 things Vikings need to do this offseason. Number 1, sign KOC lifetime contract. However long he wants to be here, let him be here. Same with Kwesi, our GM. Sign them forever. I'm very happy with our front office. Number 2, make it very, very, very clear that this is JJ McCarthy's team in 2025. Don't flirt with the idea of like, maybe we'll bring Sam back and see what happens. No, this is JJ McCarthy's team.
So
week
your
1.
opinion has really changed on that because before you were feeling conflicted.
I was fine with franchise tagging him. What I wanted to do before these last 2 weeks, I wanted to bring Sam Darnold back on a franchise tag and then let it be an open competition and let training camp figure out who's the better quarterback, JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold. Now I'm like, we're not. There's no reason to pay this guy after the last 2 weeks, and it's unfair. It sucks. I like Sam Darnold. I'm very happy with a lot of the things he did for us this year, and I'm very thankful for all the fun times we had this year. Sometimes it doesn't work. This is just a breakup that has to happen. It's not working out. And if he wants to come back on a super friendly deal and be a backup, so be it. But this is JJ McCarthy's team in 2025, and I'm very happy to move forward with that as our quarterback, with him as our quarterback. Number 3, we have to spend all of our cap space on interior linemen, both offensive and defense. We need we need guards, we need centers, we need D linemen, we need all of the above. We need bodies up front. We are getting owned at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and we're just not going to win playoff games like that. You're not going to win in January like that. Number 4, whatever happens with Harrison Smith, do it the right way. So I think he's going to retire. If he can somehow like be our DB's coach, make him our DB's coach. He's one of the best Vikings of the 21st century. He he should be around this team as much as possible. So do right by Harrison Smith. And number 5, um, I would say probably secure another cornerback. Get it because we got to get healthy there. We're probably going to lose one of them. Get another cornerback, and then we'll see what happens in 2025. But I'm still processing. I'm doing better than I thought. Last night was bad, very bad, dark place, but survive in advance. We move forward. That's life. I
It
just
is.
I, I just had to turn my phone off for a good 12 hours. The texts and calls were getting too much. I can't take it. It's sad. But anyways, we can move on. Playoff games this week that we already basically talked about last week. We have Texans versus the Chiefs. I would lean Chiefs there. Are you still on that?
Yeah.
The big one, Bills Ravens. That's gonna feel like a Super Bowl. That's a game that is going to be the highest priority for most people. Bills Ravens. That'll be very interesting to watch. On the other side, Rams versus Eagles. Both these games could get interesting. Rams, Eagles, and Lions, Commanders. So I would say both the higher seeds, Eagles and Lions, are heavy favorites, but could get interesting. But all right, let's get into this book. Jenna, how are we feeling? What are we thinking? We are very
Well, I
early on in this
texted
book.
you, what day was that? Sunday, after I had finished the we read up to chapter 11, which was only like 60 pages. But I mean, I was flying through this.
Hmm.
Like, it is an easy, quick read, which I do appreciate. I don't think it dilly-dallies much. I think it's a lot of building up a lot of suspense already from the get-go, which I'm enjoying. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a thriller. It reads like a movie, if that makes sense, where it's like, all right, you're in it, and it just goes, and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, chapters are like super short. You're kind of zooming through it, and you're just
I love a short
figuring it out.
chapter.
Oh, it's so
It's
yeah.
my
It feels like you read
favorite
faster.
thing. Yes, it
Yeah,
does. It feels like the whole thing goes faster.
yeah. So the characters we're working with here, we have our main protagonist, Millie, right?
Yeah.
I'm making that up, Millie, and then she is basically a former convict of some felon of some kind. We
Yeah,
don't
we don't know
know
yet.
yet. She's been in prison for the last decade.
Yeah.
She's been living in her car. She gets this opportunity to be the housemaid for this very wealthy family, and the mother's name is they're the Winchesters. What's the mom's name? It starts with an N, I think. Nina. Nina's the mom, Cecilia's the kid, and
Andrew?
uh, Andrew. Andrew is the man of the household, the husband. Um, and then you just get weird vibes the whole time. Basically, it's what's
Yeah.
happening here. Nina's spazzing out on her. There's also a uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Gardener, handyman type person.
The lawn guy, I would say.
Yeah, who's basically warning Millie and be like, "Hey, stuff's weird in there.
Danger.
Weird stuff's yeah, danger. Stuff's happening in there," but he's like just not saying anything. very strange.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I guess
speak
where do you
English,
wanna
right?
start? Yeah, he doesn't speak English, he's
Yeah.
Italian. He did warn her and just said danger.
Mhm.
Where do you wanna start with this? What
Well,
are you
the first bad vibe that I got, where I was like, this is about to get interesting," is when she goes to the house to meet them, Millie does, and they're showing her the house or whatever, and then they're like, "And if" number 1, I think a live-in anything is strange. I don't know if that's a rich person thing, but I
Mhm.
just think it's weird. Like, why do you need somebody living there at all times?
I agree.
Like,
Very
I don't know
strange, I
who would
don't
sign up for that and who would want that, but
yeah.
so basically, they're showing her this beautiful house, like movie theater, just everything you could imagine. And then they show her a guest room that's super nice, but then they take her up to the attic for the room that she would be staying in. And it's like
Mhm.
incredibly small. I imagine that like the ceilings are really short. It's like a cot for a bed. The windows stuck shut. The locks on the outside of the door. I feel like the author really set the scene there where you were like, "Okay, this is creepy."
Like, immediately no. Immediately
Already, yeah,
something weird's
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
And
I think
we don't
that was my first sign of like, "Uh-oh."
oh, we don't get any backstory yet on why Millie went to prison. Do you
Correct.
have any hunches on where that could be going? It's gotta connect. The crime, whatever she
Oh.
did, has to connect to, like,
Well, because the
what's going to
prologue
happen.
kinda flashes forward, I think,
Oh,
to
yeah, I read the prologue. What
almost
was
the end of the book. It's like when the cops show up and she found a dead body.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder oh, yeah, it says 3 months earlier. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
I I wonder if, like, my initial thought was her crime is gonna somehow be, like, tied to the what's her name?
the
Winchesters?
Winchesters, yeah.
I think that her crime's gonna be somehow tied to them,
Mhm.
and then maybe it's like a karma type thing or, like, revenge type plot but then I thought Nina's just weird. Like, it's not like she's trying to get revenge for something, I don't know. But then just Nina's acting more sporadic than that. It's not very calculated. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's some big conspiracy. I think it's just weird.
yeah, I don't make a habit of diagnosing people, but she's not a real person, and she sounds clinically bipolar, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well,
Like,
yeah, she's
mood
yelling at
swings, yeah.
her for like, she's forgetting things or, like, not telling her things, and then
Acting like she told her, making
yeah.
messes just for her to clean up.
Yeah, what's your read on Andrew, the husband? Because he seems
I'd like to
fairly
think he's just
normal.
naive and doesn't know what's going on in his own home, but I have a feeling it's gonna come back that he's not as normal as he appears to be.
Yeah, if there is some convoluted, super complex plan, he is leading it.
Mhm.
Like, if there's some conspiracy of, like, he's orchestrating and, like, pulling strings behind the scenes, it's him. It can't be Nina because she's way too sporadic. And
Yeah.
then they have their daughter, Cecilia, who's just a spoiled brat and annoying, and
Mhm.
I hate her, and I don't feel bad saying that because she's fictional, but she
Right.
sucks.
Well, so I'm reading the, like, about the book,
Mhm.
and it's explaining how Nina's a mess, makes a mess, Andrew looks like his eyes are full of pain, blah, 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 and then it says, "But I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of."
I mean,
So makes Millie look very guilty.
I think she's killed someone.
You do? See, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I thought her crime was nonviolent, but now that I think about it,
I think it was like a manslaughter type thing where it wasn't intentional, so that's why she was only in for 10 years. Like, what's a 10-year crime? Man, I feel like manslaughter,
mhm,
where, like, you took a life, wasn't planned, but I mean, what else could it possibly be?
That would only be 10 years.
It could be. Depends on
I guess what part she played
circumstances.
in it.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was my initial guess, and then maybe that person that she killed is somehow tied to the Winchesters, and this is some like revenge plot. But then again, it throws me off because Nina's so sporadic, so she doesn't seem like the person who's planning out this thing.
Yeah.
But then also, it feels like Millie was chosen
On
in
purpose.
yeah on purpose,
It
not
does.
out of just like
Like it's some sort of game or something.
yeah, and like because you wouldn't be hired if she has manslaughter on her record.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
and she knew that. Like she says that at the beginning of the book.
she's like, "There's no way I get this
No way.
job
They're
because
gonna
of my
run this
record."
background check and I'm screwed.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll
The
figure out. I mean,
reviews are very I thought I had figured it out and I was wrong.
okay,
So I don't necessarily think this is gonna be one of those books where we can really predict what's gonna happen because I think we're gonna be thrown off a lot.
challenge accepted. I want to figure it out before it ends.
Okay. So my coworker over winter break read this book and the sequel in one day.
There's a sequel.
Yeah, it's a series.
Oh man.
I don't know that it's like the same people, but
Okay.
I don't know that for sure. But yeah, so she read this one and the second one in one day. She was like, I couldn't put it
Wow.
down. It was such a quick read and it was just really good.
All right. I'll go out on a limb then. Prediction. I think Andrew is like evil, evil. Like I think he's a bad
Was he
guy.
the one driving Nina insane?
Yeah, I think he's like he's the puppet master. He's pulling strings of somebody behind the scenes, and he's gonna present himself like this good, like, hey, like I'm just naive. I love my wife. She's gone a little crazy, and I think they're gonna frame it like, hey, Nina's gone crazy. So if like she gets locked in her room at some point, like, oh, Nina's going crazy again, but it's really the husband, and
Okay.
that seems very easy. So it's probably not it, but that's where I'm leaning right now.
Okay.
Also, Cecilia's gonna play a role in this, the kid.
Oh,
I
she
feel
has
like,
to. They're setting her up to be a very creepy character.
which makes me think she ends up like saving what's her face, Millie. That's what I'll say. I'll say Andrew's a bad guy, like a bad guy puppet master at the end, and Cecilia is going to like hate Millie the whole time, but then at the end realize she's in trouble and save her.
Okay.
Those are that's my two
I like that
bold
second
claims right
one.
now. We'll revisit that, but anything else we want to kind of prepare for, look forward to? Anything stand out from the first couple chapters? Because we are only 60 pages in. We will get through this quick. Like, I honestly,
I was honestly gonna say, should we finish it?
I will if you will.
Is that too far?
I will if you will.
Okay.
All right. We're going to finish this book next week. Wow. All right.
About
This is a
300
challenge for me.
pages, so we're almost a third of the way.
All right. Yeah. Let's finish it. Let's finish it for next week.
Okay.
We'll do the full recap. So I think now we have to give out some big time predictions.
Okay. My question for you is, do you think that prologue,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that's going to end up being the end of the book, or do you think that's going to be like somewhere towards middle/end and then we're going to get some resolution?
I need to like revisit what the prologue was.
It's
So I know like if I leave this house, I'll be in handcuffs.
yeah.
Cops show up. There's a dead body in the attic upstairs. So we're at the Winchesters.
We're at the Winchesters in the room where Millie has been staying.
And there is a dead body in her room. Who do we think the dead body is?
I think it's Nina. Or the gardener.
That's who I think it is. I think it's him. I think he's dead. Was it Enzo? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I think he's dead. I think he's the body upstairs, and they're gonna blame it on Millie somehow.
Okay, but what
Because
does it all
also,
have to do with, like, her getting locked in the room and stuff?
well, so
She's gonna get locked in that room.
she has to get
I mean,
locked in
there's
that
no
room.
way she doesn't.
Now, what because Nina acted so weird when Enzo was in the house.
Mhm.
And how like what like how could Enzo
Know that there
know
was
that there's danger?
danger.
Yeah. Like
Wonder
what
if
does he
they've had a
know?
housemaid before.
And they all
Maybe the
die?
body's the old housemaid.
How would no, the body would she's been there weeks.
How but where we don't know where the body was, do we?
It said it was in the attic.
I know, but where in the attic?
I mean, I don't know. I know. There's no way the body's the old housemaid.
Okay. You think it's a new body.
I think it's a new body, and I think it's someone a body of someone we've met, and I think that happens like halfway through the book.
Okay.
And I think like Enzo or somebody we already know dies, and then they're trying to blame it on Millie, and then it becomes this thing. But all right, let's do final like death count. Let's do alive or dead at the end of this book. Millie,
Alive.
alive. Nina,
Dead.
dead. I agree. Andrew,
In cuffs. But I think he's alive.
I think alive. I think he flirts his way out. Not like actually flirts, but like he squeezes by and avoids jail. I do think he is a big part of this. Cecilia,
Alive. They're not gonna
alive.
kill the child.
Enzo,
Dead.
dead.
One
I
way or
agree.
another, I think.
I think we're on full agreement here. I think Enzo and Nina are on the chopping block. And that's really all we've met, right?
Yeah.
There's no other characters there. So,
Mhm.
all right, I guess we'll
Okay, coming
revisit.
back to what you said about how you think she was in jail for manslaughter.
Mhm.
Looking over the prologue again too, she's, like, having a somewhat of an, like, inner monologue here,
Mhm.
and she's saying things like, "I pause, wondering if this would be the right time to demand a lawyer. Aren't they supposed to offer me one? I'm rusty on this protocol." So it does seem like maybe she's been here before.
Yeah, I mean she's been arrested before. But yeah, so you look up at the staircase, the younger cop standing there, long fingers clutching the top of the banishment. His face is pale. You got to come up here now. Okay, I don't know. Well, I mean, I do like this. It is
What
a
if
easy
more
read.
than just a body if they're like,
Yeah,
"You won't believe it."
yeah. I think,
Yeah, I
yeah, I think it's
enjoy
gonna
it a
be good.
lot.
I'm excited. Let's analyze the cover real quick.
Well, it's
Do
the
you?
lock of the door.
It's the lock of the door.
Mhm.
She's stuck inside there. But if you like, this is gonna sound dumb, but I genuinely do you think she's looking into the room or looking out? I think she's looking into the room
Oh, I think she's looking out
and she's stuck in.
when she's locked in there.
Oh yeah, because the lock's on the outside.
Yeah, and whatever key they gave her, I don't think that key works.
Yeah, she hasn't tried it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about that book next week, obviously, because we're gonna finish it this week. One random book etiquette question I had for you. How what like how do I ask this? How do you read? In what position? How are you like if you're reading this book now, what does it look like?
Well, I usually read it in bed at
In
night.
bed? Are you laying to one side and reading like that? Or
No.
are you sitting up reading
Yeah,
like this?
what?
Shut up.
Laying to one side?
Hold up. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna show you how I read. I gotta take these headphones off.
We've got a couch behind you.
This is how I read. And then my arm gets tired And so I gotta switch and read like that. You read like this?
No, I'm not sitting straight up.
Well, like this.
I'm like laying in bed on my pillows, sometimes with my knees up, like this.
That's crazy. I'm here the whole time.
I would be moving constantly.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. I was like, my arm falls asleep every like 30 seconds because I'm on my elbow.
Why are you reading like that? I'm gonna be honest, it's better than what I thought. I thought you were gonna be flat on your side in the book, just like in front of your face. So I'm glad you had a little bit of the.
I'm
But
always there.
oh my
But
God.
this is too much.
What do
I
you mean
can't
it's
do
too
that.
much?
That's too much. I just feel I don't know.
Okay, well, I
I
also
can't.
read on my iPad quite a bit, so I don't have a book. Like I'm reading this one on my iPad.
Oh, that'd be even easier because you can just like swipe.
They make these things where you have like a button and you can just hold it in your hand and press it and it turns the page for you.
That's crazy.
I don't have one, but I think I need one.
That's crazy.
Because
But
people have these whole hookups for their Kindles where it like clips to your bed and then the Kindle clicks in the thing and you can just lay back and press it and it's like I'll have to send you a picture.
yeah, I was wondering because I was like, man, this is so annoying because my arm falls asleep all the
Do
time.
you use a bookmark?
No, I just fold the page.
I do
Yeah,
too.
dude.
Whoa,
Okay.
you're folding that aggressively though.
That's an aggressive fold. That's an
Tiny
aggressive fold.
corner.
I don't usually fold that aggressively. I apologize.
Okay.
I was in a hurry.
Did you just
Okay.
finish it?
About 2.5 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a busy week, but I plan on reading more. Obviously, we'll finish this for next week. But all right, I was just wondering how you read because I was like, this can't be the common practice.
I don't think anybody reads like that.
I would disagree. I bet people read horizontally.
That's not even really horizontally. That's
That's
like
the definition of horizontally.
you're not like in a plank on the side.
I'm like this. I'm here.
I think this week you need to try something different.
I'll try reading your way, but I don't think I'm alone on that, to be honest.
I think you are.
Want to bet?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll put that out and see if people agree with me. Anyways, all right, we'll finish. We'll do a full review of this book next week. I'm excited to see how it ends. Hopefully we're right. Hopefully multiple people die. Hopefully some crazy shit happens.
Hopefully multiple people die.
Clip that. See you guys. See you guys next week.